Something just happened inside Alabama, and the move itself is not the part raising eyebrows. Wide receiver Cole Adams, a player who spent 3 years in the program, has left for Vanderbilt after a 2025 season in which he contributed on special teams and as depth in the receiver room. On paper, that sounds normal in the portal era, but inside a program already trying to reset parts of its offense after a season marked by inconsistency, a shaky run game, and a brutal playoff collapse, timing starts to matter. The more this decision is placed next to Alabama's offensive transition, the less it feels like an isolated exit, and the more it starts to look like a signal. So this is the question that matters now. Was this just a quiet transfer, or one more clue that something inside Alabama's offense still has not settled? Before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe and drop a comment telling where you're watching from right now. Every single one gets read, and something a lot of people ask is how these news-style videos are made. It actually started with simple videos like this that led to monetized channels. If you want to learn how to build channels in this format, there's an ebook in the pinned comment. Just check the link and see how it works. At first, it feels like nothing. A depth receiver leaves, limited production, mostly special teams. In today's college football, that barely moves the needle. That's the surface. But Alabama has never been about surface-level moves. And when a player who spent 3 full years inside the program, learning the system, adapting to the culture, waiting for his role, decides to leave right in the middle of an offensive transition, that's when it stops being just another transfer. That's when timing starts to matter, because exits like this don't happen randomly. They happen when something underneath is still shifting. Now take a step back. Look at what Alabama's offense actually looked like last season. There were flashes, no question, but there was no full control. The run game never truly stabilized. The offense became predictable in key moments, and when the pressure increased, everything tightened. That loss, 38-3, wasn't just a bad game. It was exposure. It showed what happens when an offense leans too heavily in one direction. And inside a program like Alabama, players feel that before anyone else. They feel it in practice. They feel it in meetings. They feel it when the rhythm isn't there. Now fast forward to right now. New system under Kalen DeBoer. New structure, new tempo, new expectations. The offense is evolving. The receiver room is changing. New players stepping in. Roles being reshaped. And right in the middle of that, a player who understands the internal rhythm of the program makes a quiet decision to leave. No drama, no headlines, no noise, just a decision. And that's where it starts to feel different, because Cole Adams didn't leave frustrated. He didn't call anything out. He said something simple. Things change. You have to do what's best for yourself. That sentence doesn't explain anything, but it reveals everything. Because in today's college football, players only say that in very specific moments. Moments when they recognize that the situation around them is still in motion. Not broken, not failing, but not settled. And when things aren't settled inside a high-level program, timing becomes everything. So now connect the dots. An offense that hasn't fully stabilized, a system still being implemented, a unit still trying to find its identity, and players making quiet decisions during that process. That's not noise, that's pattern. And here's where this gets interesting. Because this isn't about Alabama losing control. It's about Alabama rebuilding control in a different way. A different system, a different rhythm, a different balance. And that kind of shift creates friction. Not everyone fits immediately. Not everyone waits for the system to click. Not everyone stays long enough to see the final version. And that's normal at this level. But it also means something important. What looks like a small move can actually be the first visible layer of something much bigger underneath. Because Alabama doesn't rebuild like other programs. It recalibrates, it adjusts while staying competitive. It evolves without stepping back. But during that evolution, there's always a phase where things don't fully line up yet, where the pieces are still moving, where the structure is still locking into place. And during that phase, decisions like this start to appear. Quiet, subtle, easy to ignore. Unless you're paying attention to the timing, because timing tells the real story. Not the headline, not the stats, not the surface. The timing. And right now, the timing says this offense is still finding itself, still adjusting, still moving toward what it's going to become. And if history says anything about Alabama, that process doesn't end in weakness. It ends in control. It ends in dominance. But before that happens, there's always a phase like this. A phase where things don't fully add up yet, where small moves feel bigger than they should, where something just feels off. So now the question changes. Not about who left, but about what this moment represents. Is this just another normal transfer in the modern era? Or is this one of those early signals that only make sense once everything clicks? Drop your take in the comments. And if you follow Alabama closely, stay locked in. Because the biggest shifts inside elite programs rarely show up as breaking news. They show up like this. Quiet, subtle. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. And before we close this one out, a quick shout out to Kenneth Griffin, watching from Decherd, Tennessee. That kind of comment matters more than it looks. Because when someone from a place like Decherd is locked into what's happening inside Alabama, it shows just how far this program's influence really goes. And it also says something else. People aren't just watching Alabama anymore. They're trying to understand it, trying to read what's coming next. And that's exactly what makes moments like this interesting. Because not everyone is seeing the same thing right now. Some see a simple transfer. Others see timing. And a few are starting to see the pattern. So Kenneth, appreciate you being here and representing Tennessee. And to everyone else who dropped a comment and didn't get mentioned today, every single one is part of what builds this channel. Keep them coming. Because sometimes the best reads don't come from the headlines. They come from the people paying attention early. Roll Tide now.